Hey, I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com, and this is my detailed breakdown of the PLX DM-100 OBD2 touchscreen multi-gauge fitting all 1996 to 2014 Mustangs. So the DM-100 is the do-it-all multi-gauge from PLX. Now, to give you guys a little background on the company, they were founded in 2003 in the heart of Tech's Central Silicon Valley with the goal of bringing you some cutting-edge, amazing automotive electronics. And they certainly have done that with products like the DM-100 and other electronic offerings. And again, you guys can check those out by clicking on the link below for some detailed breakdowns, in addition to some other great Mustang content. Now, the term multi-gauge is probably one you've heard me talk about before when describing products like the Air Force Interceptor, for instance, and basically just describes the Swiss Army-like capabilities of the DM-100. And what I mean by that is, this thing stuffs a whole lot of features into one attractive little package, the biggest of which is the ability to read up to 25 of your OBD2 parameters, up to 4 at a time, including biggies like air-fuel ratio, RPM, vehicle speed, intake air temperature, engine timing, voltage, and so much more. The gauge can also be used to read and clear diagnostic codes, set up intelligent warning lights, data log your car's performance, and even gauge your car's performance. Now, I'm going to break down each one of these things in a minute here, but if you want to learn more about the OBD2 parameters in addition to the functionality of the DM-100, and you're not already watching this on our site, well, just click the link below to head back to the product page at AmericanMuscle.com. Now, some of you guys may be wondering about the ability to read boost or oil pressure with the DM-100 here, and yes, it is possible, but you do need the assistance of extra modules or sensors, which of course are available through the site here. These include modules for boost and vacuum, oil pressure, fluid temperature, exhaust gas temperature, and intake air temperature, just to name a few. Now, for the pre-2011 cars whose O2 sensors are not wideband compatible, PLX does offer a wideband kit complete with a quality Bosch sensor. Now, either way, this does ultimately allow for up to 16 different modules to be daisy-chained together, all of which are viewable on the one DM-100. The thing that really separates the DM-100 for me is the beautiful organic LED display, which in my opinion is just going to be much easier to read and much easier on the eyes compared to a traditional backlit LCD gauge. Now, the gauge does feature 15 different view layout options, all of which again are customizable, and there are more available for download through the PLX website. Your info can be displayed in one of 4 different ways. There's a traditional needle style gauge, a numerical digital readout, a graph style gauge, and then finally a 4-way style gauge, again, all of which is customizable. Now, PLX does offer a standard DM-100 without touchscreen capabilities. However, my only gripe with that is you have to use a 4-button wired remote to control the functionality. Not the case with the touchscreen version I have here. The buttons have been seamlessly integrated into the actual face of the gauge itself, making for a much cleaner appearance. So therefore, to navigate the gauge, the user simply has to press the left or right or top or bottom portion of the gauge to get through everything, which is very cool. Opening up the box for the first time, of course, you will find the DM-100 itself, which by the way is a standard 52mm or 2 1/16 inch gauge, the most commonly used size diameter gauge, and should fit into most gauge pods without issue. In addition to that, you will find the control module along with the serial cable, the OBD2 cord, both the powering options, in addition to a very detailed user guide. Now, since the DM-100 does feature plug-and-play OBD2 interface, the install itself is extremely straightforward and should take you no more than an hour from start to finish. In fact, most of that time will probably be spent figuring out where to mount the gauge itself and running the wire. Now, we actually decided to go with the vent gauge pod for a clean and stealthy install ourselves. And in fact, if you guys have any questions whatsoever about the actual install or about the gauge itself, please do not hesitate to reach out to one of our Mustang experts. They'd be more than happy to help you at any time. So if you're looking for one of the most versatile and useful gauges on the market today, you'll want to consider the PLX DM-100 Touch, available here at AmericanMuscle.com.